.com for details.
How can babies get a message across without being able to talk yet? Rachel Gilbert tells us how in today's Newsmaker. Rachel.
Thank you, George. On today's Newsmaker, some local babies are learning early in life how to communicate with their parents through sign language.
It's already quite popular in the Toronto area, and now baby sign language is catching on here in London. Using American Sign Language, parents and babies are joining classes to learn basic signs to communicate. Charlene Gray is an instructor with My Smart Hands and says babies are able to communicate with their hands before speaking.
At a very young age, you are able to use your motor skills, whereas it takes much longer to be able to use anything that has to do with your tongue, to be able to articulate words or to be able to speak or that sort of a thing. So they have the ability to, as I say, to use the motor skills and to have that cognitive recognition and everything at a very early age.
On average, parents enroll in classes when their children are around 6 months old. Gray says some do start earlier, but adds it may take longer for the babies to sign back to you.
If you start 6 to 8 months, it can take, it can be anywhere from weeks to several months before they'll sign, on average probably 2, 3, 4 months kind of thing. But if you start with a child that's older, for instance, if you do one of the, we also offer toddler groups, toddler sing and sign kind of thing, or even the baby sign. The toddlers, like, 14, 15 months are welcome to come to that. They'll pick it up faster because they already have the ability to use some of their motor skills.
Angeline and Rocco High started signing classes about 4 months ago when he was 8 months old. She says it took a while for him to catch on.
You know what? The first few months, not a lot, but I knew that he understood what I was saying. But more recently, I would say probably around 11 months, he started doing different signs, and his main signs are more and eat, and he does milk. So the main ones.
Melanie Kemick and her daughter Emma started when she was about 6 months old.
We had heard about it, and we had started looking into some videos online of baby signing, and it was definitely something that we were interested in. And as well, Emma's uncle is deaf, so it was important for us to start teaching her at an early age as well.
Both babies are using the basic signs now and telling mom things like more, eat, and milk.
First thing in the morning, we usually get up and we play. But a few weeks ago, when we first get up in the morning, he's now telling me he wants to eat instead of playing. So he'll sign when I pick him up out of his crib that he would like to eat. And so we eat first, play after.
Gray says we certainly don't give babies enough credit for what and how quickly they can learn.
As far as the actual, being able to use their hands, again, that comes down the road. But you'll see them start paying attention to their hands. They'll start focusing on their hands. As far as, giving them as much credit as they deserve, no, I think we highly underestimate what babies are able to do. You take in verbal sound on the left side of your brain. You take in image on the right side of your brain. So the babies have, if you take that together, they have that 2 points of access to recall a word. So, they're able to learn a lot faster than we think they are. They're not able to articulate to us what they want, but they know by watching and mimicking. Babies love gestures.
It was a little frustrating at first because you don't know if it's working or not, because you constantly are signing things with them and you don't know if they understand. Slowly you can tell they're understanding, and then it's really nice when they start signing to you. So instead of crying, you see them sitting there saying milk, and that's what they want.
And that's exactly the benefit. Learning sign language minimizes the other way of communicating, crying.
You have all sorts of benefits to it. You have social benefits, communication benefits, the developmental benefits. If a baby can tell you what they want, why wouldn't you want them to? If it can bring down that frustration level and open that communication.
It's fun to see him learning new signs and telling us new things. So I think it's fantastic. And if anything, it's wonderful for our family and friends because they just can't believe he's so young and signing and saying what he wants when other children his age can't.
It takes a little while. At first, you're constantly signing everything to them, and then you start noticing that they know what you're doing, and then slowly they'll start signing. Like initially, she would start signing milk when she had her milk, and then she starts signing milk when I'm making the milk, and then she'll sign milk when she wants her milk. So it's slow, but you can definitely tell they're picking up on the signs.
For more information on baby sign language or for a schedule of local classes, visit smarthands.ca and find Charlene.